let's just go back to yesterday then. We had two singles matches that were really pretty one-sided. Both of them went 6-1, 6-1. Colin, that was perhaps a bit of a surprise when you're talking about the top 8 players in the world, that there's such a big gap. Let's just get confirmation of the results and show you how they went, because I think it was a surprise for everybody to see Stan coming through against Berdych, dropping just 2 games in under an hour.
Yeah, it was a real surprise. I think the fewest number of games won in these finals previous to yesterday was 3, so to get 2 in a day were 6-1, 6-1. It was a real shock. I think it was a case of, certainly in the first match, Wawrinka came out, found his feet very early in the match. His ball striking was very pure, playing very aggressively, but Berdych was the polar opposite of that. He never found his game.
No.
He admitted himself it was his worst match of the year. Unfortunately, it came at the World Tour Finals, so that was a really one-sided affair. But, like I say, some great shot making from Wawrinka. In the second match, Djokovic against Cilic, I actually think Cilic, he didn't hit the form that he produced to win the US Open, there's no doubt about that. But Djokovic was incredible yesterday. I was really impressed with the way he played. It really was the world number 1 at the peak of his game.
Great. Let's just see how these results affect the groups then, in terms of the singles as well. Djokovic and Wawrinka then, after those wins, nicely up at the top of Group A. It's Group B who is in action today, and the winner of that match between the top 2, Federer and Nishikori, could well qualify for the semi-finals, depending on how Murray and Raonic get on. In terms of the doubles, Kubot and Lindstedt, Payer and Suarez at the top of Group A. The Bryans brothers, look, with that defeat yesterday, there's a surprise, but they can struggle here at times at this at these end-of-season championships. Just didn't have time to mention the other group, but so things could be decided today in certain areas. But what about the Bryans losing that opener, Colin?
Yeah, it was obviously a shock. The Bryans would have been favourites for the match, but in the previous few years they have lost their first round match here at the O2, which is something they obviously won't be happy with. It's quite a peculiar thing, because you would think the Bryans, they played together for so long, they know each other so well, you think they would be the one team that you would back to sort of bring a high level straight away. But I have to say, Kubot and Lindstedt yesterday was so impressive. They've got big games, and they produced yesterday. They executed really well, and you know, it's credit to them more than it was a poor performance from the Bryans.
Yeah, indeed. But we've seen the Bryans do this before and still come through and win it. It's still possible. And 102 tour titles for the Bryans this year, having won their century of titles at the US Open. It's been absolutely incredible for them.